If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, but let's get right to it. So StarWars.com dropped on their Twitter feed and on their main page the Obi-Wan Kenobi series cast. And this probably isn't all. This is just like the major players. But of course, Ewan McGregor is going to be Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hayden Christensen is back as Anakin. I'm kind of feeling like this might take place. It's hard to say. There may be flashbacks in it, is what I'm thinking. It's a limited series, but I almost feel like this is going to take place during the Clone Wars. I could be completely wrong. Obviously, I have no insider information. It's just what I'm speculating. So Deborah Chow is going to direct this, what they're calling a limited series. I love how they've changed the terminology of a mini series to a limited series. You know, maybe 6 episodes. I think it's 6 episodes. And so a couple of things I wanted to note right off the bat. So George Lucas is going to be writing on 4 of the episodes, which I thought was very interesting. There's several other writers involved, but they've tapped George Lucas for this. And George is also writing a couple of episodes for Andor. So I'm completely stoked that George is back in the mix here, because we need a minute for as long as we can get a minute. Moses Ingram is in this. You know, she has not acted a lot. I did see her in The Queen's Gambit. That was on Netflix. I watched that entire thing, but she's kind of new to the scene, which is cool that she's in this. We know a couple of the people, Joel Edgerton, obviously, and Bonnie Piazzi. I believe that's how you say her name. They played Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru in the prequel series, and we all know Joel Edgerton's career has blown up since then, done a lot of work. O'Shea Jackson Jr., I thought is an interesting casting, and I'm excited for it. If you haven't seen Den of Thieves, and I know that he played a version of his dad in the biopic that they did when they did the NWA movie, and he did a great job there. And that's when I first noticed him, and I was, oh my God, he looks just like his dad, you know. But he did a movie called Den of Thieves that had Pablo Schreiber, who is extremely talented, and Gerard Butler. If you haven't seen Den of Thieves, you should check it out, because I think it's his best work as an actor. Kathleen Kennedy is back to executive produce. I'll leave that there. Sung Kang, who was in the Fast and Furious films, if I butchered that, I'm sorry. Dude, he has been acting for like decades, this guy. And, you know, he did a voice role in Raya and the Last Dragon, which is also on Disney Plus streaming now in their Prime section where you have to purchase it. But he's already in the Mouse House. I like that they're using people that they have relationships with. Kamal Nanjiani, the comedian, he's going to be in a Marvel film, The Eternals. So they're, you know, obviously they're like, hey, who can we use? Who have we worked with? Who is awesome? So Disney's like picking these people that they've worked with before, which I think is great. Rupert Friend is in this, who played the Hitman. The video game adapted series. I know he didn't do any of the sequels, or they did one sequel and he wasn't in it, but he's worked on tons and tons of period piece films. He's just absolutely talented. What they've put together as far as cast is absolutely talented. But the one that stood out to me is Benny Safdie. Now, I hope I didn't butcher his name. I hope I haven't butchered anybody's name on this video, but Benny and his brother Josh directed Uncut Gems, that movie with Adam Sandler, which obviously that film stressed me out so bad. Watching it, I was completely, I mean, I don't have bad blood pressure, but if I did, I bet my blood pressure went through the roof watching that movie. That I finally had relief in the film, not to go off on a tangent, when Adam Sandler, spoiler alert, his character was shot dead, because I was just kind of like, finally, it's over. Like, this guy has just been like going and going and going and going. And that movie, I never want to watch it again because it stressed me out so much. But he's also directed a ton of short films, award-winning short films. And he's credited just crazy directing credits with all these short films. So it's very interesting that they picked a little bit of fresh blood here, if you will, with some of these people. And you know, I'm excited. I think this is going to be great. I hope it takes place not too long after Revenge of the Sith and then Rogue One, because I really want to see Hayden Christensen in the Darth Vader costume, taking the helmet off, maybe in his chamber and things like that. Maybe, struggling with his inner demons and all that other kind of stuff. And I hope that they haven't announced it, but I hope that Liam Neeson is involved in this, and maybe they bring him back as Qui-Gon as a Force ghost, because obviously at the end of Revenge of the Sith, they had Yoda had said to Obi-Wan, I've communed, with Qui-Gon, and I'll teach you how to commune, and do the Force ghost thing. So I hope we get a little bit more explanation there, and I hope that we get to see Liam Neeson again as Qui-Gon, as a Force ghost. This is an impressive cast list. Simone Kessel, and then Indira Varma. Not too familiar with their work, but I did look them up on IMDb. They've done a ton of stuff. So, it looks like this is, just a 6-episode thing, which is great. I hope they can put it to bed after this. And I hope that, again, we only got that snippet of Darth Vader in Revenge of the Sith at the end, where he basically, no, and he crosses his arms. And I always felt like with Revenge of the Sith, they should have had him transition to Darth Vader about halfway through the film. So we would have gotten 45 minutes of Darth Vader himself hunting down the Jedis and going to the temple as Vader, instead of Anakin as the newly crowned Vader, but with the hood. I just felt like we needed that. And then when we got what we got in Rogue One with the hallway scene and the complete just decimation of all the rebel soldiers on the Tantive 4, I thought the hallway before the Tantive 4 falls away, I thought like that was like the aha moment, like we need a Darth Vader series. But if they put him in here, then again, they're playing with these nuances, in A New Hope, when Vader first walks up onto the Millennium Falcon and looks around it with all the stormtroopers there, and he says, I sense something, a presence I haven't felt since. And then he walks away, and then in the hallway, when he finally confronts Obi Wan Kenobi, he says, we meet again at last. When I met you, I was but the learner, and I'm the master, only a master of evil, Darth. Those lines, like how many times did Darth Vader meet up with Obi-Wan Kenobi? And are we going to find out because Joel Edgerton has aged, Ewan McGregor is aging? But if you look at the gaps between A New Hope and Revenge of the Sith, it's a massive aging of both Uncle Owen and with Alec Guinness playing Obi-Wan Kenobi. And there's this thing in the comics or the books where the twin sons on Tatooine prematurely age people. And that kind of has been the explanation of how people get where they get on Tatooine, that the twin sons age people. So I would love to see if they don't have to spoon feed the information to the audience, but they need to kind of explain a little bit of this aging of Ewan McGregor from, where he's at now to Alec Guinness in a time span of just, 15 years of Luke Skywalker being born and then already being a teenager by A New Hope. I'm ecstatic. I can't wait for this. The quality that they're putting out now, Disney Plus with The Mandalorian, and finally gave us the Luke Skywalker that we always wanted. Obi Wan Kenobi limited series. We've got Andor coming up. The production value is there. Everything looks fantastic going forward for the Star Wars universe. I can't wait for Obi Wan Kenobi. I'm looking forward to the Book of Boba Fett. I mean, everything Star Wars now is exciting, and if we're all in this together as fans, we should all be very satisfied with what's been coming down the pike. So let's talk about it in the comments section. What do you think about the casting? Where do you think the story is gonna fall? Let's banter about it.